Assalamu alaikum everybody. Our lesson today is talking about comparing decimals, greater, less, and equal. So how to compare two decimals? Let's know that after knowing that decimal number or after reminding you what is the decimal number. Of course, you know guys that the decimal number has three parts. Has the first part which is the whole part, then the decimal point, then the decimal part. Of course guys, you know that the decimal part in the decimal number here is a part of a whole number. So it's less than one of course. Okay, so let's know the place value of those digits here in that decimal number. The first digit here, which is 4, which is before the decimal point, which is on the left of the decimal point. This one is the whole part or is the whole number. Then which is on the right of the decimal point, of course, starts from tenths, then hundredths, then thousandths, and so on. So the place value of 8 here is tenths, then the place value of 7 hundredths, then the place value of 2 thousandths. Okay, how to read this number again? As I said in the previous video, I'm going to read which is before the decimal point, which is on the left of the decimal point, as a whole number, then say the decimal point as a word and, then read the number which is on the right of the decimal point as a whole number also, then say the place value of the rightmost digit. So how to read this number? I'm going to read it as 4 and 872,000, because the place value of 2 here is 1,000. Okay, also let's remember the equivalent decimals. As I said to you before, that if you put any zeros on the right of the decimal number, the value of that number doesn't change, will not be changed. So for example, if I want to write the shaded parts here as a fraction, of course just I'll count all of the shaded parts over all of the parts, which will be 6 shaded parts over all of the parts will be 10. So the shaded parts here as a fraction will be 6 over 10, and as a decimal, as you know, also will be 0.6. Okay, if I divided the same shape here, guys, into 100 parts, okay, let's divide that shape into 100 parts. Now that shape is divided into 100 small squares. Okay, I want to represent the small squares or the small shaded squares as a fraction also. How many small squares are shaded here? Of course, there are 60 here. Just count like that: 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. 60 small squares are shaded. Out of all of the small squares in that shape, of course, there are 100 small squares. So it will be 60 out of 100, which will be 0.60 as a decimal, of course. Here, guys, I didn't shade anything more, of course. So 6 over 10 and 6 over 100 represent the same shaded parts in that shape. Because they represent the same shaded parts, of course, they will be equal, or they will be named as equivalent fractions, and 0.6 and 0.60 will be named as equivalent decimals. So I can say that 0.6 equals to 0.60, and those are called equivalent decimals. So I want you to know here, if you put any zeros on the right of the decimal number, the number doesn't change. The value of that number doesn't change. Okay, let's get back to our lesson now. As I said, our lesson is talking about comparing. So let's know these signs. The first sign, which is that one, is called greater than. Then that sign is called less than. Then that sign, of course, you know, it's called equal to. Okay, after that, I want you to know how to compare the numbers. If I want to compare numbers, guys, if I want to compare decimal numbers, exactly like comparing whole numbers. Okay, I'm going to line up the numbers, then compare the place value or compare the digits with each other. Okay, then where the digits are different, of course, I can know which number is greater. So with comparing decimals, guys, there are some steps here. Just follow them. The first step, line up the decimal numbers up of each other. Then look at the digits from left to right. Then find the first place where the digits are different, because that place tells me which number is greater. Then compare these numbers. Let's remember, guys, that comparing decimal numbers exactly like comparing whole numbers. So let's take that question, or let's solve that example. If I said compare using less than or greater than or equal, if I want to compare those two numbers, which is 3.545, 3.509, how to compare those two numbers easily? As I said, follow the steps. The first step, line up the decimal points or line up the decimal numbers up of each other, work from left to right, then find the first place where the digits are different, then compare. So let's do the first step, which is lining up the decimal numbers 3.545 and the other number 3.509 up of each other. Just line up the numbers like that. Then work from left to right. Find the first place where the digits are different. Look at the first digit on the left here. Of course, they are same, 3 and 3. And the second digit also same in both numbers. And the third digit, of course, is different in both of them. So, and the first number is 4, and the second, and the other number is 0. Of course, guys, 4 is larger than 0. Yes. So 3.545 is larger than 3.509. Okay. Let's take one more example. If I said compare using less than or greater than or equal 3.39 and 3.9. If someone, of course, guys, saw that question for the first time, he will say, yes, of course, the 3.39 is more than 3.9. But unfortunately, guys, that's not. So let's follow the same steps here. As I said, line up the numbers, then work from left to right, find the first place where the digits are different, then compare. But before starting, I want you guys to know that 3.9 here is equivalent to 3.90. That means if you put 0 on the right of the decimal point, on the right of the decimal number, which is 3.9 to be 3.90, that means nothing has been happened, nothing has been changed here. Okay, so let's line up the numbers first, 3.39 and 3.9, and as I said, we can add extra 0 to 3.9 to be 3.90. So 3.9 can be written as 3.90. If you added 0 here, nothing will be happened here. Nothing changed here, guys, because the value of 3.9 is still as it is here. Okay, after that I can compare easily. 3 and 3 are same, and 3 and 9 are different, and 3 is less than 9. So yes, so 3 and 9 are different here. So 3 is less than 9. So 3.39 is less than 3.9, guys. Okay, so 3.39 is less than 3.9. I don't want you to do like the others who are saying 3.39 is less than 3.9 because 39 is bigger than 9. Of course, it's not like that, guys, because we want to add extra 0 to 3.9 to be 3.90 here. So please, yes, take care for this question. 3.39, of course, is less than 3.9 because 3.9 will be 3.90. If we added extra 0, of course, nothing will be happening here. And now let's solve the questions in the book. Question number 1 says that scientists measured the Madeira cockroach and found it to be 3.44 centimeters long. Toby says that the Madeira is shorter than the Oriental because 3.44 has fewer digits than 3.438. Is he correct? Let's explain. Of course, guys, 3.44 has fewer digits than 3.438. But you don't know that 3.44 can be written as 3.440. Because if we added 0 to the right of the decimal number, of course, the value of the number doesn't change. So what will I do here? Just add extra 0 to 3.44 to be 340. 3.440. So 3.44 can be written here as 3.440. After that, let's compare the numbers easily because both have the same number of digits. So we can compare them easily, exactly, to be 3.440 more than 3.438. Question 2, how to compare these numbers. Question 2 and 3, of course, you can do that easily. Of course, that number 2.345 is less than the other number. 7.317 is more or is greater than 7.203. How to order the decimals from least to greatest? Using the same way, guys. Compare also or order also for, according to the place value, according to the digits. Here 4, 4, 4, they are same. Then 5, 6, 6. 5, of course, is less. So the first number, which is 4.540, is the least number. That's number 1. Then 4.631, 4.625. Of course, 4.625 is smaller than the other one, so that will be number 2. And of course, the middle one will be number 3. So let's order them like that. Question 5, using the same way, but before doing anything here, I want you to know that the number of digits here must be same to compare easily. So the first number has 4 digits, the second number has 4 digits, the third number has 3 digits, so we can add extra 0 to that number to be also 4 digits, to be 1.350, and the last number also has 4 digits, and now we can order them easily to be the first number, which is 0.575, and the second number, which is 0.593, and the third number, which is 1.350 or 35, then the fourth number is that one. And that's the answer, guys. Thank you so much.